I was just so fixated by the idea of getting rich.
For me, it was do or die.
Finally, it's here. Welcome to AMP Studios Live. I'm Black Slim, and I'm proud to introduce you to a part of the music industry that I guarantee most of you have never seen before.
Whether you in the limelight or not, it remains real life.
It's not an Insta life at all.
The raw honesty and the truth around the business of music and what it takes to be an icon in entertainment.
It was rough. I mean, I personally was banned in South Africa.
I wanted what I wanted, and I believed in myself.
I know I used to get paid 500 Rand when I was still starting up, but now, 2 zeros there.
I went from literally like being a varsity kid to like being stopped everywhere for a picture.
Africa has had some major success stories, but we've also had some stories that have gone bad.
In this industry, you never know how long it's going to go.
We've got great artists who can't even bury themselves today.
We've had some of our greatest artists die poor, even after selling millions of albums.
Excuse my French, but what will f you up is ego.
Since we are determined not to repeat the same mistakes with our coming stars, we bring you an exclusive series of conversations and performances designed to lift the hood so that you can see what it takes to make it in Africa.
Just because you're a car guard today or you're a security guard today, does not mean you're going to be there for a long time. You're going to have a game plan.
Take 10 minutes of your life and sit back and think about what really counts.
Let's kick it off with the Mutswako originator Khuli Chana, Sipho Hot Sticks Mabuse, Jay Something, and Vusimahlasela to start the conversation about understanding some of the fundamentals about being an artist today. Let's go.
I've been through something where I actually got scammed in a deal, right? There was no contract. I really messed up. There was no contract. It was just like, you know, you meet a guy that's like really smart. The conversation is just elevates your mind. You really start to think you're gonna be the richest dude tomorrow, right? And it just went by so fast. I did not even do a little background check on the guy. I was just so fixated by the idea of getting rich. Doing a due diligence is like the most important thing. You really gotta know what you're getting yourself into. And maybe sometimes we focus too much on the result, right? On the end in mind, this much money. But you really gotta do your homework. And that's what I take from that.
You know, I think what's very critical here, I mean, I'm talking to people who are probably aspiring, and some of them are probably musicians. You know, one of the most important things is understand that in our industry, we make money, and how we make money and how we use money is very critical at a stage where we're very successful. History is littered with impoverished musicians who at some stage have been very successful. And today, they have nothing to show for what they have. And sadly, we always find other people to blame for, you know, that situation. I've been privileged in a way that the people that I work with within the recording industry were people who were willing to give advice. At the end of the day, I was surrounded by people that would say, look, when you make your royalties, ensure that you put them in the right space.
And also like surrounding myself around the accountants, the smart dudes, and the conversations. And somebody like Jabba, Jabba was actually very smart with his money. Like Jabba never used to spend money recklessly. I learned that from him as well. And also learning how to make hay while the sun shines, right?
One of the things that like I'm really interested in is how far can I stretch myself? I don't want to, like, one of the things that I'm really scared of is regret. I don't want to get to a point in my life where I'm like, damn, like I didn't try, I didn't do this. When I think of something and I feel something, I go for it. And I've failed many a times. I've lost a lot of money. If you are a creative, which you have to be when you're a musician, we have this world of like possibilities in our mind. It's like a fairy tale in our mind. And my mind is like, I can do anything. And you can. The harsh truth about that statement is not everything is gonna work.
It's also important
that you don't get trapped. And you must always be careful, business-wise, whom you are working with.
For me, it was do or die. It was a calling. I love to do this thing so much. No one could stop me. Do you really want to sing because you feel this thing inside you? Or you do it because you can make money? There are those who are very lucky. They go and make money like that, and then they blow it because they think it's going to come tomorrow. But if you are driven, you don't do that. You are driven to do it, money or no money.
You sing in spite of everything.
Absolutely.
And you sing whether there's an applause or not. Somebody told me a really beautiful story about Brahu when he was, passing away, that he would lie there and he would just do this with his fingers. Because you go all the way with the music if you love it.
Yes.
'Cause my people that are suffering, it's my people that are suffering, no. These are my people in the ghetto. It's my people that are suffering, Those are my people in Zimbabwe. It's my people in Mozambique. Those are my people in the Congo. My people in Sudan. Samala Sanjalo. Samala Sanjalo. Jalo. Samala Sanjalo. Samala Sanjalo. Jalo, jalo, samala sanjalo. Samala jalo.
Those are the soulful sounds of Thandiswa. I hope you guys are starting to get a feel for what this show is all about. Every month, AMP Studios hosts masterclasses with some of the biggest legends in the business, and they deal with hard-hitting subjects across the board. In this one, we have none other than Squatter Camp co-founder and creator of Slicker on Life, Slicker, who sets us up around some of the basic rules of understanding how the music industry works. So let's check it out.
I'm of the opinion that the industry never loved me, or maybe the industry doesn't love anybody. In any space that you get into where you are trying to change the normal conversation, no one is gonna love you. So you've got one or two things. You either become mainstream, and that's why they call it mainstream, because it's the main road. Everybody's on that road. Or create your own road and you become like the underdogs. And when you go through the passages, mainstream always go, how far is he? We'll see if he'll get there. Chances are every one of us in this industry, we're trying to prove to everyone that the ideas we have are something that matters and people want to consume it.
So that was part one of our AMP Masterclass series, and we'll share more about that later. If you're interested in seeing the whole video for the masterclass or other masterclasses, you can find them on YouTube. All you need to do is search AMP Studio Slicker. One of the greatest African legends of all time was Mama Letta Mbulu, and even she, at the height of her international stardom, was having financial issues. For the first time ever, and because of AMP Studio's Hero Conversations platform, she speaks to Thandiswa about it.
Even with an incredible career such as yours, you've gone through periods where you've been broke.
Listen.
So it's not like you went to America, you got famous, you got rich, it was nice, you know what I mean?
Listen, I have stories to tell about that.
Yeah.
We were in this little apartment watching television, a small little television that was lent to us by a neighbor, and we were watching a commercial of hot dogs and hamburgers
And you were just hungry,
And
but
we
you
were
couldn't
sitting
afford
there with nothing to eat.
Yes.
And it was really tough.
Yeah.
Very, very tough.
And then you have to deal with the idea of being famous, but broke.
Yes, yes.
You know what I
many
mean?
times,
Yeah.
many times. Sometimes you owed the apartment, you didn't have money, couldn't even get money to take a bus, you know. So it was very difficult.
I think one of the things that we fall into is we make money as musicians and then we think, oh, let's buy a car, let's buy a chain, let's buy, like these expensive things. For what?
When I was celebrating 10 years in the music business, I went and bought an Aston.
Come on.
And, and I remember 4 years later, I jumped into that Aston. I went to a dealership. I don't want it anymore. Because I got to a place where I felt like I was being owned by this car.
So many of us, we've got that mentality of we're poor. So we've got to, when we have that money, we got to spend it.
You can't be sure about what's going to happen. You can't say just because I had a hit this year, I'm going to be here 20 years from now. Nobody knows that. There's a lot of great, incredible artists who are sitting at home with no work whatsoever. So it's not even about how talented you are, because that's not the thing.
1 minute you're big, 1 minute abasakwazi stratini so mekhoneni uyacela. And those things do happen.
They say, penny wise, pound foolish. Peter Gallo used to say to me, plant a penny and watch it grow.
This goes out to you and you and you. Le ole, sing it. Le ole. Sing it. Le ole, louder. Ole. Sing. Le ole, louder. Ole. Yeah. Le ole. This goes out to you and you and you. Le ole. Louder. Le ole. Le ole, yeah. Ole.
Coming up after the break, we hear more from Slicker, as well as go deeper with Yvonne Chaka and Zolani Mahola, as well as an unforgettable collaboration between these two icons. Stay tuned.
AMP Studios brought to you by Old Mutual. AMP Studios brought to you by Old Mutual.
Welcome back to AMP Studios Live, an incredible new partnership between AMP Studios by Old Mutual and MTV Base. Let's jump right into another segment from our AMP Masterclass session with Slicker. In this one, he talks about the importance of standing out and why it's important to tell truly authentic African stories.
What are you doing every day that literally taps into how am I thinking about what I'm doing and where I'm doing it and who is it benefiting? No one knows what other artists are going through, local artists are going through. You don't even know their story. I mean, I sit with like Big Zulu the other day and talking about how he used to be a taxi driver. He always carried a big gun, and he used to fight guys like at the taxi ranks. But because he could fight, he knew that there's some skinny guy who could maybe come shoot him. So he'd literally go to ciphers in his taxi. From then on, one day he got on stage, jumped, and the gun fell on the floor. It's not like a great story, I'm just saying, it's not like 2 to 18, parental guidance is advised, He literally said, yo, I'm done with this. And then that's when he started to just really dedicate himself into rap. For me, that's a story that talks about the African-South African dynamic. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who can relate and can say, I know something like this. But where is this story being told? Because I know 50 Cent got shot 8 times. I know 9. Yeah, you see? Even, it's so, the documentation is so good. You are even in the speak, someone behind goes, no, 9, bro. Relax. I know 50 Cent's gotten shot 9 times because besides music, there's the story. And what they shouldn't rob us is us telling our stories. And they shouldn't diminish us by just saying you're just a song. Because you are actually like a community, you are life. You know why people resonate to your song. You know why people liked your song, because you said something that they went, damn. When the nigga goes, spirit, you go, ooh. That does not come just from a person writing a song. That's a story.
Slicker, what a legend. Don't forget, if you want to find those AMP masterclasses online, just go to the AMP website. That's ampstudios.co.za. Okay, let's dive back into AMP Studios Hero Conversations. Zolani Mahola, who recently kicked off a solo career after many years with Freshly Ground, sits with majestic legend Yvonne Chaka, who even worked with Michael Jackson, for an entertaining look at what is achievable and how to get there. In addition, our AMP Hero Conversations conclude with a first ever collaborative performance between these two power artists. Ready? You better be.
I'm wondering, Mama Yvonne, I mean, you have been in this industry for such a long time, and so many of us know you as somebody who's always been on their own 2 feet, knowing their own story. We know that you are a very shrewd businesswoman in your own right. I would like to know from you, what is the best financial advice that you've ever received in your life?
I must say, you know, at 21, I had $1 million in my account. Thanks to Phil Hollis. Phil Hollis, this man, shame, white people abused us, but sometimes they were nice. During apartheid, these ones were nice. Because he knew that I was a musician, you know, and, but, you know, I was the first face of Dawn Skin Lotion and doing all those things. And I did a Pepsi ad. Me and Michael Jackson and Tina Taylor. How do you like that?
Amazing.
You know, I look at fill up the dome. I'm like, Tina Nabo Brenda Fassie filled up Venda Stadium.
Twice over, 3 times over.
You know, we did. People came to our shows and they paid. So it's possible to do all those things. But I can tell you, money comes and goes. Money needs to be respected. Yes. As I said, make your money work for you. Yes, be generous with your families, because Tina, as Africans, we need to look out for each other. Because what goes up must come down. And but you must make sure that you invest your money.
As we're moving forward, what are you guys looking forward to in the music industry as a whole?
We all know the story that South Africa has incredible talent. What I'm super excited about is hearing all these very different voices and really people coming in with their own styles, you know, with new styles that are unique to them. The sign of a successful artist is somebody who's really recognized that my voice is my voice. Nobody can do it the way that I do it.
You know, the artists from the French artists, they'll spring, you know, from the African, French countries, they'll sing in their languages. And even the Nigerians, they don't want to speak proper English. They'll sing the way they sing. And that's why they made the money. That's how they are. So they don't want to be anything else. So we as South Africans, we've lost it because we want to be what we're not. So love who you are, be who you are. Have you been to America and heard them playing our music? No. Charity begins at home. They play their own. That's why young artists who are authentic. I mean, this boy, I really loved him. May his soul rest in peace. Mutswak.
Double HP.
Double HP. Singang. Yeah, I mean, he was so authentic. I mean, look at Java. Uskrafi nje mara. Hey, icon. Na uso. So be who you are. Look at Shoma Joes. Ushoma Joes, uyibonile imali. Half mlungu, half taki. Mara wabulawu. Wabona. Uenza sitoko. Ubonile. Amashangane la yayifihla afuna ukuthi azikwa amashangane. Ufikile umshangane manje uthi I mean, nobody sings like me.
Yes.
When I say, I'm in love, love, love with the detail. How many people tried to imitate Brenda Fassie? And there was just one Brenda Fassie. There was one Miriam Makeba. You know, Miriam Makeba lived in America for 39 years. And she still came back and says, Sanbonan Bantwana Ba. Nina, nivakashe America 2 weeks. Hoja wahan. Yeah, what's up? What's up?
The more you are in touch with yourself and know your own value, the less you're going to need the validation from the outside world.
How are we taking care of our own and being proud of what is ours?
I believe in significance over success. And this space is significant. You know, it's about building the next generation. Find your true north and go for that.
That's the magic behind this space right
Sure.
here, is that if you come here, you can get the knowledge.
It's tough at the top, it's crowded at the bottom. Where do you want to be? And how do you get there?
For more of those interviews, or to check out AM Studios masterclasses, hero conversations, or maybe you want to get involved and use our studios in Newtown Junction, or maybe you are looking for some friendly advice or even financial advice, just go to amstudios.co.za or search our videos on YouTube. Also, if you want to join our AM Studios community for updates, content drops, and exclusive invitations, join our WhatsApp line by WhatsApping your name to 081-707-6636. We will see you next week right here from AM Studios in Newtown Junction Mall. I'm Black Slim, this is AM Studios Live, and you're awesome.
Rise up, little girl, it's a brand new day. Raise up your voice and keep that smile on your face. Run, run, little girl, run towards your dreams. With every step, believe in yourself and keep going strong. Oh, oh, oh. Dear girl child, your mind is powerful. The future of Africa is in your hands. Nom dagazana, tula nom dagazana, nom dagazana. You are the jewel of Africa. Nom dagazana, tula nom dagazana, nom dagazana. You are the jewel of Africa. Your light shines brighter than the sun. Your crown is stronger than the wind. Don't you wait? You are the jewel of Africa. Your light shines brighter than the sun. Your crown is stronger than the wind. Yes, you are. You are the jewel of Africa. Rise up, my little girl. It's a brand new day. You have the choice to give a smile on your face. Run, run, little girl. Run towards your dreams. With every step, believe in yourself and keep going strong. Oh, oh, oh. Dear girl child, your mind is powerful. The future of Africa is in your head. Nom dagazana, tula nom dagazana, nom dagazana. You are the jewel of Africa. Nom dagazana, tula nom dagazana, nom dagazana. You are the jewel of Africa.